Good morning. Please introduce yourself, where you're based out of, and tell us something about yourself.
Hi, my name is Brennan Hill. I'm based out of North Carolina. I was born and raised there, so I'm basically a unicorn. Um, I have hobby ADD, so I do a myriad of things. I help run a nonprofit in Haiti. I work with a nonprofit in Charlotte. I work with a few nonprofits in Charlotte. Um, yeah, I don't believe in free time, so I love to keep busy and do what I can.
What attracted you to the photographic medium?
It's such a vague, broad question.
You can interpret that any way you want, hon.
Right. um, I adore modeling. I've been modeling full time for 20 years in some capacity or another for 30. I love the community. I love what the community stands for. It's just been so validating and has given so much back to me that I absolutely adore it. It's We're all such weirdos. It's so great because we're all weird, and it's great because we all just represent each other and can relate to each other. It's completely unexpected.
Is that what the community means to you? When you touched on that earlier.
Yes. Um, I do love that we're all weird. Um, but the community to me is just like we're all so giving. Sorry, as I dig my eyeball. Everybody that I know in this community is so giving and so warm and so forward. I don't, I've worked a myriad of jobs, real jobs,
Hmm.
but I've never found one that was as warm and welcoming as the modelography community.
What other real world jobs have you had?
I've worked as a vet tech and I worked in IT. Um, can't say that I recommend either.
Just wasn't right for you.
um, it was, I pissed on the corners that I needed to piss on to establish myself. But again, it wasn't as warm and welcoming as the artist community.
Okay. Um, do you have any creative endeavors outside of the industry?
Hobby ADD. I
Well,
scuba.
hang on, time out there since you're the one who brought it up. For those not in the know, what is a hobby ADD?
So I love having a myriad of things that keep me entertained. Um, be it scuba diving, be it kayaking, be it hiking, backpacking, fill in the blank. I like to fill my time with things that I'm intentional and passionate
Hmm.
about. Volunteering is one of them. I spend a ton of time volunteering. Um, and modeling honestly has its own benefits as far as it's so multifaceted. Like today, I'm going to dress up as a crow and go pose outside the snow. Like, who gets to actually do this? It's
Hmm.
a job. Like, it's amazing. So yeah, no, I fill my time outside of modeling with a lot of creative endeavors. I love woodworking.
Too
Pick a
many.
day. Pick a day, any day. It's going to be something different.
Gotcha. Uh, what's the strangest piece of advice someone has given you?
You and I talked long and hard about this and how I was going to answer this. There's
I'm a the investigate with extreme prejudice. So
there's
there you go.
there's a myriad of ways I can answer this. So I've been modeling full time for 20 years, some capacity or another for like 30 something. I had a photographer, would have been like 10 years ago. He's like, you shouldn't travel with so much wardrobe. I'm like, why? Why wouldn't I? And he's like, well, just doesn't everybody want to shoot you nude? And I'm like, no. Like 80% of people, especially with the advent of social media, want to shoot me in clothes because you can't post anything nude. So, yeah, his request for me to stop traveling with wardrobe was bizarre at best.
Mm-hmm.
Not informative. Not an informed decision.
It's based on his perspective,
Right.
limited,
Right.
and not factoring in the fog of war.
Right. And like it was, again, modeling for so long. It was a different story 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the advent of social media, with Instagram, with Facebook, with all of these things,
The restrictions that go along with it. Okay.
right? Most of my work is clothes. No, do I mind being naked? Absolutely not. Do I mind being nude? Nope, not a bit. But I also want to have options
Mm-hmm.
to be able to play into whatever space we're propagating, whatever space we're playing into.
How did you get your start?
um, I was scouted in a shopping mall. In my first shoot, that's the first thing that everybody asked me is, "What was your first shoot?" And I'm like, "You won't know. You you won't know." And they're like, "No, but really, what was it?" I'm like, "This bloody Kmart." And then they just like,
Stare
I'm
at
like,
you.
"Oh, okay. Think about a Target with a Pizza Hut in it."
Yeah.
Like it was Kmart, and they still don't know. But yeah, no, that's how I got my start. Um, I never thought that this would be a career path for me. I'm so glad
Why
that it
not? Just for the
is.
health. Why not?
Yeah, and when I got scouted again when I was in my 20s, my early 20s, my mom even was like, this is what every teenage girl dreams of. Like, why would you not do this?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you're not wrong. Like, you're absolutely not wrong. So once I got laid off from tech, I went right back into modeling, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
Uh, Best decision in what way? Was it just the right fit for you?
No, I get to work. Like, Leo is creeping somewhere around here.
Leo is our photographer that we're also staring at.
Like, there's other
He's a
people
good guy,
here.
by the
There's
way.
other people here. I get to work with the most amazing people. Um, I get to play in a creative space.
Mm-hmm.
No day is the exact same. It it's just the coolest. I love it. Like it's the coolest thing that I could ever be welcome to do.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. What do you consider one of your strengths?
Man, I should have thought that one out more.
Tell what's on your mind. It's okay.
um, I'm very aware that my face is a strength and my legs are a strength.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, aesthetically, I'm aware that those things are big strengths for me. A few years ago, I started taking on more of a collaborative role as
Hmm.
far as I wanted to be an active participant.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a creative, collaborative
Defi- uh,
input.
for those of us who may not know, please elaborate on what that means, at least to you.
Yeah, no. So a lot of times models are just asked to be like, just stand there and balance light.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, That is not to me creatively satisfying.
Okay.
But a lot of times it's just like somebody grab the talent and let them bounce light. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, why don't you move the B flat here? Why don't you move the light here? Why don't you move the scrim here? I
Hmm.
want to be an active participant in these things. And like, oh, well, I don't like the way the wardrobe is fitting me this way. I want to actively collaborate and contribute, which is not always a welcome thing,
Hmm.
if that makes
No,
any sense
no,
whatsoever.
I got it, and I hope the people at home do as well. Um, uh, for the sake of this particular question, respecting the model is the first unspoken piece of advice. What would be number two, at least in your opinion?
It's not treat it like you would a first date or meeting your partner's parents for the first time.
Okay,
Like that,
be on your
it's
best
really
behavior,
that
like
easy. Like,
um,
treat it like you're meeting your partner's parents for the first time.
mhm.
Yet, don't be heinous. Don't make crass comments. It's really not difficult at all. Like well, obviously it is, but
That was gonna be my next question, uh, just from your reaction. But you've already answered that. In the meantime, we're gonna take a short break, and we'll be right back.